Hey guys, I wanted to make a video about settings in Pokemon Unite. I've been still getting asked the question a lot what my settings look like. I'm going to go over the controls and the better info and tell you guys which options you probably should have enabled and which ones disabled. So first one, we have the opponent lock-on priority. One is lowest, set to lowest remaining HP %, and one is set to the value, which means that if someone has 10% HP compared to 12% HP right now, I will attack the person with 10% HP, even if he has a higher flat value. I personally tried both of these. I ended up settling for %, value is also fine. I started setting for % just because, like, when I had certain Zapdos fights, I started hitting the Corp Fishes when I pressed B instead of Zapdos. And in very crucial moments where, because the Corp Fish, even at full HP, has so much less HP than the Zapdos, even if the Zapdos is already getting very, very low. So for that reason, I just turned on %, but value is also fine. Value is better for team fights where if you want to focus down the actually lowest, or the one of the squishier members, especially if you play something like Cinderace, you just want to auto-take something that's squishier than, let's say, a Snorlax in front of you, then probably this one is the better option. In attack controls, advanced controls, we should always have enabled. What it does is mean if you attack B, you will always attack a white Pokemon, even if there's an enemy Pokemon close to you. Very important for laning phase, very important for last hitting. You should always play with this and get instantly used to it, one of the most important options in the game. Next up, we have automatic basic attacks. I literally do not know what this does. I have tried it. If no one knows what this actually does, let me know in the comments. Lock on icons makes up this wheel appear where you can lock onto enemy Pokemon. Let me show it fast. You can lock onto it, and then every ability will just follow on this Pokemon. I personally think it's a nice idea, but it's very clunky and it covers way too much of the screen. So I tried with it, but I decided to just turn it off. In Percy mode, we have on off. It's a very awful thing where if you're not in attack range of someone, you will start walking towards it. So it makes more like some people try to run away, but their character keeps turning around like this. And I've seen a lot of people like have this enabled and just completely spaz out with their character. Just have it off. Just make sure you're in auto-attack range and actually auto-attack, and don't just, rely on the game telling you to walk back to the enemy Pokemon. Next up, we have scoring controls. Pressing a button is better than holding down a button. I think it's much simpler, so have that enabled. Camera move follows moves. This one is an interesting one. I personally found it a bit buggy, so I turned it off, but if you play something like Solar Beam or in general long range shots or skill shots, you can turn it on and see how you feel about it. Can't really show it off on Lucario right now, but pretty much what it does if you have a long range skill shot, actually I can with this ultimate, right? Let me, oh no, it doesn't actually follow his ultimate, interesting, okay. What it does, it like kind of makes your camera follow to the edge of your skill shot if it has longer range than your screen. I personally have it off, but yeah. This one is an interesting one. Move aim follows movement direction. So what this does is, if I don't hold my right analog stick, my extreme speed or any mobility ability will go towards where I'm walking. So it's a bit hard to get used to it, but I think it's very useful to like make certain things happen easier, since it's much easier to auto-attack afterwards and use certain, or like eject button or something. And yeah, I've just gotten used to using this, so you can even control or aim with your left joystick as well. It's something personally I think is a interesting option, and either you like it or you don't. Either you always want to aim with your right joystick, but I think even just aiming movement abilities with your left joystick feels very nice and just allows you to combo with other buttons much easier. So yeah, that's something I play with and I recently got used to it. Move aim snaps to nearby targets. Have that off, it can fuck up your aiming. Don't turn this one on. So what it does is if you press your button, it will snap to the other Pokemon, which can sometimes be, it can end up killing yourself because you snapped back to the enemy Pokemon even though you wanted to escape, pretty much. Move learning controls. Again, pressing a single button is probably better than a button combination. I guess a button combination would stop you from probably misclicking things, but should just get used to not misclicking. The next up, you have the camera sensitivity. That's a thing people ask me a lot, is how I move my camera around so fast, right? I move my camera quite a lot. I think it's very important to move your camera and have vision over the entire game. And it's this option right here, minimap hidden. If you turn it, you can do it much faster, and you can do it much slower. So this one is a very important option for just looking around in the game much faster and understanding what is going on. The second option is not that important. It's for the minimap you can pull up. So you can make your cursor be faster on this thing. You can show the minimap with minus and then click and ping somewhere. And you can make this cursor faster, so that option doesn't really matter. Aim assist. Okay, but first you have minimap. I have it on the top left. It doesn't really matter where you put it, but I personally prefer it on the top left. And then aim assist completely off. I would not recommend using any of these. I tried it. I tested around with it. It felt very awkward. Just have them off. Better info. This is something you don't have to do. I like seeing opponents' names above my train or like above the Pokemon. But the most important thing on this one are boosted attack gauge and the cooldown decimal values. So boosted attack gauge gives you this small thing under your HP bar. You can see it right now. My charge attack is up. So if I attack now, it will be a charge attack. And you can only see it for yourself, but still very important. It's very important to know when your boosted attack is up, right? So like if I want to like build it up on something and then I want to blink and knock someone up. Just in general, having the knowledge of your boosted attack is obviously very important. I think that's not a lot of people don't know that this option exists. And then show decimal cooldown values is also, I think, very important. I mean, why not have it on? You see when your ability is up much faster, or like you can better predict when your abilities back up. And then there's another setting. I'm just gonna back out very fast. I have 2 buttons swapped since I personally got distracted by how the positioning of abilities is in the game. This is something you might not, maybe you got used to it already, but I switched around the R keys. Both basic abilities, I just completely switched around because it made my brain, made it easier for my brain to realize which ability is which. Right here you can change every single button. So I have move 1 on ZR and move 2 on R. Otherwise it's the other way around. But in game, like it's like switched around visually. So I kind of got confused by it. And then there's also another option I have. I have battle items and score changed. Since I think reaching the battle item, like I have easier time reaching X over Y, and the battle item is more important than pressing the score button. So if you need like a fast eject button or full heal, so I made it easier for me to reach X over Y. And yeah. Those are my options. I hope you guys enjoyed this quick video, and don't forget to like and subscribe. Goodbye.